Okay, good day, guys. We are going to cover week 5 and week 6 in this slide. I know that my first class, the Monday class, I know you guys have we all have family days, so we're not going to be going live on this, but I need you guys to watch this because when we do go live, we're going to cover it the next week. So you're going to be discussing week 5 and week 6. Okay, what's a value statement? So a value statement is basically a statement that highlights the organization's core principles and philosophical ideals. You guys know about value statements. You've seen it many times before. Um, so basically, Uber, their value statement is "We do the right thing." Period. Let's see what else. Adidas, sports sport is the foundation for all we do. So basically, these value statements are statements that these companies basically live by, right? So they're timeless, they're actionable. You can put them into action, and it's basically it basically governs how the people within the company act. It also tells stakeholders, shows stakeholders the values and beliefs and attitudes within the company. The format of value statements depends on the organization. Some organizations use one, two, or three words or a phrase. Okay. Um, Pros of a value statement. So, what are some advantages of value statements? So, basically, some like a well-crafted, a well-written value statement provides basically a direction for your organization. Okay, they're the answer to the question, how do we want it to be around here? Basically, they're just showing everybody who works within the organization how the corporate culture is going to be. It values arm these managers. So basically, these value statements arm managers with the tools to make the how as important as the what. Um, a highly effective attraction strategy cannot be developed without company values being present in our lives. So basically, um, it helps recruitment processes. It uh, helps managers uh, show their employees how to do things instead of what to do or why to do it. It shows them how to do it. Shows them basically it gives them an overview of the company. So if you have a good value statement, and if you're trying to if you're trying to recruit uh, good talent, you're gonna really want to have a good value statement that's gonna attract new good talent, because good talent likes to go where it's fair, where they're paid well, all that stuff, right? So that's basically the pros of a value statement. Now, what are the cons of a value statement? So company values put pressure on leaders, right? When you have these high expectations, it puts a lot of pressure on leaders. If the leaders don't meet those expectations, they lose credibility. Values must be integrated into every part and process of the organization. It's not enough to talk about them or even just to behave in line with them. The business processes must be reflective of the values. If not, the values will diminish. You must be prepared to lose technically good people if they aren't willing to behave in a values-led way. So basically, the opposite can happen, right? You can lose really good people, really good, technical people, if they don't align with your company value, right? Non-values led behavior is as much a performance issue as not delivering on their objectives. Values done badly are worse than no values at all. Okay, so if you have a value statement and people aren't following it and the values are done incorrectly, it's worse to have values that are done badly than to have no values at all. Okay, so you got to make sure that's important. So what's a code of conduct? Basically is a set of rules outlining the norms, rules, and responsibilities or proper practices of an individual, party, or an organization. Okay, so that's a code of conduct. It just shows you basically how you should behave in a certain organization. The ethics audit process. So an ethics audit is a comparison between actual employee behavior and the guidance for employee behavior provided in policies and procedures. Okay, so basically, the more descriptive and specific ethics related policies and procedures are, the easier it is to make these comparisons. So basically, if you're going to audit people and the ethics of people in the company, you want to look at what they're actually doing versus what's actually written down in your value statement or your code of conduct. So if you're going to do an ethics audit, there's 6 steps to a highly effective ethics audit. Okay, so first you start with a detailed foundation, then develop metrics, create a cross-functional team. Okay, so let's start from the top. So start with a detailed foundation. So basically, you want to know, you want to compare the behavior versus what's actually there, what's actually written down. Then you develop metrics. So they might not be as black as white as financial or operational audits, but they run more smoothly when tangible ethics measures are in place. Consider adding ethics goals to annual performance reviews and, where possible, tying compensation to ethical behavior. So basically, you have this is what you're trying to do to have a good review of your ethics, right? So you develop metrics, you create a cross-functional team. So basically, an HR team that basically takes care of all the ethical audits. Who the compliance manager, internal auditor, all these guys are dealing with the legal matters and the behavior and stuff of people within the organization. So obviously you have to audit efficiently, right? Look for other issues, always look for room for improvement, and then respond consistently and communicate. So these are ways to do a proper ethical audit. So what's ethical reporting? It is a process of transparency. Foundational to proper professional ethical conduct is the intent to be honest, accurate, and complete when providing required information. Reporting ethically requires you to proactively and deliberately provide honest and complete information in all areas of professional practice. So credentials, services, relationships, payments, and advertising. So ethical reporting basically is just doing everything the right way. That's it. That's basically all it is. It's not extremely difficult to understand. It's just whenever you're doing in the organization, whatever letters you're writing, emails, whatever financials you're putting together, whatever sales you're making, whatever you're doing, you want to do it in an ethical manner. Whistleblowing. I don't know if you guys heard of this before, but it happens a lot. Whistleblower is basically a person or employee who exposes information or activity within a private, public, or government organization that is deemed illegal, illicit, unsafe, waste, fraud, or abuse of taxpayers' funds. Okay? So basically, it's somebody who just tells on people who are doing the wrong thing. Okay? Back in the schoolyard, we used to call that person a rat, a snitch, but in this situation, a whistleblower is someone who does it for the betterment of people, for the betterment of society. A lot of times, people they're too afraid to talk about what's happening in a company or what's happening in a government, and the fear, it actually leads to a lot of innocent people being abused by government organizations or private public companies that are just taking advantage of people. So a whistleblower is someone who comes in and says he or she shines light on it and says, this is what's happening, we need to change it. So ethical misbehavior in organizations, this usually occurs when one or more individuals do not adhere to the rules and regulations set forth by the organization they are part of. Examples is lying to customers, bribery, forgery, and fraud. Okay, so this is very easy stuff, guys. So how to reduce ethical misbehavior in organizations. Okay, so you have to create an ethics committee of the board. Okay, so you have to have a group of people who are constantly writing down laws and making sure that everyone's following them. Appoint a high-ranking chief ethics and compliance officer, right? So you have a finance officer, you have a sales manager, you have an operations manager. Get a ethics and compliance officer or manager. Establish and post online ethical and compliance standards, right? So you have to post them in places where people can always see it. Promote quality and safety with clear escalation policies. So you want to have a way for people to escalate something if something happens. So if something's unsafe or someone has done something unethical or harassment or anything, there should be a perfect way to escalate that to the top, and a very easy way to escalate to the top. Develop integrity performance indicators and reward good behavior, right? And do not create misaligned incentives. So a lot of times people, in order to hit these goals, these targets and stuff, they start doing unethical things. Like for example, if you have uh, a sales manager who's pushing you and pushing you and pushing you to get sales, and you're scared for your job, you're scared for your life, you're scared for your earnings, you're going to do whatever you can do in order to get that job. And sometimes people do unethical things, right? And they do unethical things to try and to hit those targets. But in the end, what they're doing is they're also harming the business and harming themselves, right? So don't create a misaligned incentives. Make sure everything falls in place. So the social responsibility theory. So social responsibility is an ethical theory in which individuals are accountable for fulfilling their civic duty, and the actions of an individual must benefit the whole of society. In this way, there must be a balance between economic growth and the welfare of society and the environment. So social responsibility theory, basically be a good person and help others, and don't do things that harm others and the society around you. So, what are four types of corporate social responsibility? There's philanthropic efforts, environmental conservation, company diversity and labor practices, and supporting volunteer efforts. Okay, so these are four types of corporate social responsibility that take that corporations take into account. This is what they try to do in order to do better for the environment and for the people and the community around them and stuff like that. So philanthropic efforts. So the largest companies in the world are aligned with philanthropic efforts. Microsoft works closely with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to bring technology to communities around the world. The company understands that its success requires not just continued innovation, but building a next generation capable of understanding, using, and improving technology. Even small companies benefit from aligning with philanthropic causes. A local car wash might offer schools a platform to host fundraisers for sports teams. Restaurants have fundraising nights when proceeds benefit a local school or charity. Supporting these causes happens to be a good marketing. It's good for marketing because the community is invited to the business, has a good experience, to see the company in a positive light. So basically, if you're doing things to bring people together and people are enjoying, they're having a good time, it brings a good image to you, right, to your company. Environmental conservation. Environmental concerns regularly make the headlines, whether a long-term problem like global climate change or a more local issue such as a toxic chemical spill. Companies that align themselves in these efforts help minimize environmental problems by taking steps such as reducing their overall carbon footprint. Although major corporations get most of the attention for their environmental commitments, General Mills has committed to a 28% reduction in greenhouse gases. General Mills is basically all the cereals and stuff that you eat. There are plenty of opportunities for small and mid-sized businesses as well. So basically, environmental conservation is you're doing your best in order to keep the environment clean and sustainable. For example, there is a bracelet company that is made from plastics that are found in the ocean. So these guys are a team of people. They go into the ocean, they go dive, they clean out the oceans of all this plastic and all this stuff, and they take those plastic and they make bracelets with it. And they sell the bracelets, and all the proceeds go to cleaning the ocean. So all the bracelets that you're wearing are the bracelets that you purchase. The money goes towards saving the ocean. So it's a very nice cause. Company diversity and labor practices. So business leaders realize that diversity in the workplace is beneficial when everyone is getting along as a team. However, labor policies must apply to all employees, even those at the highest level of the company. The scandals, I'm not sure if you guys heard of this, with Harvey Weinstein and Steve Wynn, show that no company is impervious to the ramifications of sexual harassment. So basically, it doesn't matter how big you are, how strong you are, how much money you have, nobody is safe from, or nobody can get away really with sexual harassment. The movement has also given rise to other diversity issues in the workplace that need attention and consistent action. As a business leader, review your own diversity policies and protocol to address any complaints and violations. This is not only good for your company image, it also helps build a positive company culture with good morale and high productivity, guys. You see this a lot, right? A lot of girls that I talk to from, like a lot of the students who are female who come from India, right, that I teach, they say that they faced these issues in India. They worked for nice big corporations, nice big companies, and they faced these sexual harassment issues where their bosses or other guys would try and like talk to them or try and make them do things and stuff like that, and they just hated it. They couldn't deal with it because they wanted to make money and go home, right? They weren't there to try and be eye candy or any of that stuff. They wanted to do what every other guy there does, which is make money and come home. So company diversity and labor practices is very important for companies these days because they have to make sure they're keeping men, women, everybody feeling equal. Supporting volunteer efforts. So local communities and charities always need help. Small business leaders know that being involved in the community in a productive way is good for the company too. Give employees the opportunity to help a school, plant trees, work with city council on homelessness. Business leaders can choose where to spend volunteer efforts to best help the local area along with the company. The important thing for businesses is to choose a cause and contribute time. Okay, so those are the four. Corporate social responsibilities. What's corporate sustainability? It's an approach aiming to create long-term stakeholder value through the implementation of a business strategy that focuses on ethical, social, environmental, cultural, and economic dimensions of doing business. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep your stakeholders happy and provide them value by your corporate sustainability, basically implementing strategies that focus on all the ethical and social and moral aspects of doing business. Reputation management basically is the effort to influence what and how people think of a brand or person when viewed online. So put another way, character is who you are, reputation is what people think you are. Okay, so reputation management is extremely important for companies. They like to make sure that they're always doing the right thing and they're not hiring people who have a bad reputation, or they're trying to stay away from things that'll give them a bad reputation. Social impact is the effect on people and communities that happens as a result of an action or inaction, an activity, project, program, or policy. So basically, it's what you're doing socially. Your social impact is how you're affecting people and stuff around you, right? And then triple bottom line in economics believes that companies should commit to focusing as much on social and environmental concerns as they do on profits. So basically what they suggest is there should be three bottom lines. There should be profit, people, and the planet. So triple bottom line seeks to gauge a corporation's level of commitment to corporate social responsibility and its impact on the environment over time. So basically triple bottom line wants companies to focus on profits, people, and the planet. So all three, which if you can do that, if you have a business that can do all of that, that you realize that your business is going to be a lot more successful than every other business. For example, Elon Musk, right? He has his business of Tesla. Tesla makes money now, or it did a few times. I'm not sure if it still does. Tesla makes money. Their people are extremely happy because even if Tesla doesn't make a lot of money, their company their employees get shares in the company. So first of all, they're treated really nice. Second, they get shares in the company. So anytime Elon does something crazy, the share price rises. Every single employee more money. They're more valued. And then also to helping the planet, he is turning people away from gas-powered cars to electric-powered cars, which helps save the environment from CO2 emissions, carbon emissions, and basically is making a more sustainable life for people. So I think that really is one of the best companies that's out right now. Okay, guys, that's the end. That's the end of the slides. That's it. And guys, this is very easy stuff. So I'll be seeing you guys next week. Just I hope you guys understand everything that I was talking about, and we'll talk next week. All right, thanks, guys.